Finally, guys, we're on to the last of the big three of the rock formations, and that is Metamorphic Rock. So, as you've done before, please grab your rock flowchart diagram that you've filled in your igneous and sedimentary rocks on, grab your metamorphic reference table, and continue on with this video, learning heaps more. Alright, in this video, we're going to be talking about metamorphic rocks. Please get your rocks flowchart ready, so we can fill it in our final third column. Now, recall rocks are classified according to how they form. Igneous form from cooling and solidified magma, sedimentary form from compacted and cemented sediments. And now our metamorphic rocks. These are the ones that are going to undergo some sort of change, a metamorphosis. And what drives that change is the exposure to heat, really intense heat, or intense pressure. So the metamorphic rocks are rocks that are changed as a result of exposure to intense heat and or pressure. So there are two types of metamorphism that occur in nature. The first type is called contact metamorphism, and the second is called regional metamorphism. So let's take a little bit of a look at the difference between these two. Now imagine that you have the surface of the earth here, and you can see some of the trees, and the colours here are the layers of rock underground. I'm going to show you how contact metamorphism works. The reason it's called contact is because it involves existing rocks coming into contact with really intense heat, which is generally provided by lava or magma. So imagine that one day an intrusion of magma forces its way up through these layers of rock. Now, all of the existing rock are going to be burned by the heat of the magma. So all along the edge of this magma, shown here in orange, you're going to have the rocks that have been burned by the heat of the magma that is burning, causing them to change or metamorphosize into something new. So anywhere you see the orange, you're going to have some metamorphic rock. This is caused primarily by heat. Let's fill that in on our flowchart. Okay, so the first type is contact metamorphism, and this is caused by contact with heat. Whenever a rock comes into contact with magma or lava, it is burned or metamorphosized by that heat. So let's talk about the second type, metamorphism. Now this one is going to be the more from pressure. So let's imagine that I have a plate boundary here, a fault, a crack, and that these two plates are coming together. So it's called convergent plate boundaries. Well, as you can imagine, in the middle here, there's going to be an immense pressure, and that pressure can cause these rocks trapped in the middle to become metamorphosized. So all along this plate boundary, you'll find metamorphic rocks. This is different from contact in that it's not so much about the heat, it's more about the pressure. Let's take a look at what we see here. This is a typical progression of metamorphism that occurs starting with the sedimentary rock shale. If you add heat and pressure, it will be metamorphosized to slate. If you add more heat and pressure, it will become pyrite. More and it will become schist. Even more and it will become the metamorphic rock gneiss. Take a look at the gneiss sample. Down there you'll notice it has bands of minerals. That's a result of the intense pressure. Now, if you were to add even more heat and pressure to gneiss, it would melt into magma or lava, and then it would become an igneous rock. So gneiss is generally the extent of metamorphism. So let's go back to our flowchart and fill in our second type of metamorphism. It's called regional metamorphism, and this is caused primarily by pressure. Of course, all of this is summarized in your reference tables in the Metamorphic Rock chart on the page I've given you. You'll notice the type of metamorphism, composition of what minerals are involved, and how big crystals are, and whether or not it is banded,